These 5 MMA fights were the cream of the crop, the best of the best, the ones that you shouldn't have missed. But don't worry, we're gonna bring you up to date on it. So without further ado, let's get started with number 5. Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski, UFC 284. This fight was unique for several reasons. First of all, it was a rare champion versus champion matchup, as Makhachev was the lightweight champion and Volkanovski was the featherweight champion. Both fighters had been dominant in their respective divisions, and they agreed to fight at a catch weight of 150 pounds to settle who was the best. Secondly, this fight was a clash of styles, as Makhachev was a master of wrestling and grappling, while Volkanovski was a versatile striker with great cardio and durability. Many fans and experts were curious to see how they would deal with each other's strengths and weaknesses. Thirdly, this fight had a lot of hype and drama behind it, as both fighters had been calling each other out for months, exchanging insults and trash talk on social media and in interviews. They also had different personalities and backgrounds, as Makhachev was a calm and respectful Muslim from Dagestan, while Volkanovski was a loud and confident Australian from New South Wales. So, what happened in the fight? Well, it was a one-sided affair, as Makhachev dominated Volkanovski from start to finish. He took him down in every round, controlled him on the ground, and landed heavy ground and pound. Volkanovski had no answer for Makhachev's wrestling and pressure, and he barely landed any significant strikes. Makhachev also showed his submission skills, as he attempted several chokes and arm locks on Volkanovski, who managed to survive by sheer grit and heart. In the 5th round, Volkanovski kept pressure on Makhachev, walking forward, landing, and taking shots. Makhachev was looking for a takedown, but Volkanovski again showed unreal defense all night, and was even looking for his takedown. That sat Makhachev down, and Volkanovski was raining down punches until the fight ended, but it was too late. In the end, Islam Makhachev defeated Alexander Volkanovski by a decision of the judges. Don't worry, the next fight is more brutal. Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman, UFC 286. It was the third time that these two fighters had faced each other, after Usman won the first fight by unanimous decision in 2020, and Leon won the second fight by KO in 2022. After their first fight, Edwards had been chasing a rematch ever since, and he finally earned it after winning 6 fights in a row. This fight was also a grudge match, as both fighters had a lot of bad blood and animosity between them. They'd also been trash talking and insulting each other for years. They also had different views on their heritage and identity, as both fighters were born in one country and then moved to different countries at a young age. Usman represented the United States, having been born in Nigeria, while Edwards represented England, being born in Jamaica. The fight was a close and thrilling fight that went the distance. Both fighters showed their skills and heart, and they gave everything they had in the octagon. The first round was a feeling out process, as both fighters exchanged jabs and leg kicks. Usman tried to take Edwards down, but Edwards defended well and landed some elbows in the clinch. Edwards also landed a nice head kick that stunned Usman momentarily. The second round was more of the same, as both fighters traded strikes on the feet. Usman landed some hard body shots and uppercuts, while Edwards landed some crisp combinations and knees. Usman scored a takedown at the end of the round, but Edwards got back up quick. The third round was where things got interesting, as Edwards rocked Usman with a left hook that dropped him to the canvas. Edwards followed up with some ground and pound, but Usman survived and got back to his feet. Edwards continued to pressure Usman with punches and kicks, while Usman tried to recover and fire back. Fourth round was a turning point, as Usman came back strong and took Edwards down early in the round. He controlled him on the ground for most of the round, landing some elbows and punches. He also attempted a rear naked choke, but Edwards defended well and escaped. Fifth round was a nail bite, as both fighters knew that it could decide the outcome of the fight. They went toe to toe in the center of the stage, throwing everything they had at each other. Usman landed some powerful right hands and left hooks, while Edwards landed some sharp jabs and body kicks. The final horn sounded. It was a close fight that could have gone either way, but the judges scored it 48-46, 48-46, and 47-47 for Leon Edwards, who retained his title. Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira 2, UFC 287. It was a rematch of their first fight, which took place in 2022 at UFC 281. In that fight, Pereira shocked the world by knocking out Adesanya with a flurry of punches in the 5th and final round, handing him his second loss in MMA and becoming the new middleweight champion. The fight was also a clash of personalities and styles, as both fighters were known for their flashy and unorthodox techniques and their charisma and confidence. They had been taunting and mocking each other for months, and they promised to put on a show for the fans. It was also a chance for redemption and revenge, as Adesanya wanted to prove that his first loss wasn't a fluke and that he was still the best middleweight in the world. He also wanted to regain his title and his legacy. Pereira wanted to prove that his first win was not a lucky shot and that he was a legitimate champion. But it is all talk, and the real deal is in the ring. So in the fight, it was an explosive fight that ended in a knockout. Both fighters showed their skills and flair, and they entertained the crowd with their moves. The first round was a back and forth battle, as both fighters exchanged kicks and punches. Adesanya landed some low kicks and jabs, while Pereira landed some spinning kicks and hooks. Pereira also attempted some flying knees and cartwheel kicks, but Adesanya dodged them. The second round was where things got crazy, as Pereira came out aggressive and tried to finish Adesanya. He landed a spinning back fist that rocked Adesanya, and then followed up with a flying knee that grazed him. He then threw another flying knee, but this time Adesanya saw it coming, and countered it with a right hook that dropped Pereira to the floor. Adesanya then pounced on him with some ground and pound, until the referee stopped the fight. Adesanya won by knockout at 4 minutes and 21 seconds of the second round, avenging his first loss and reclaiming his middleweight title. It was an amazing and memorable fight that settled their score in style. Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko, UFC 285. This fight was a huge underdog story, as Grasso was given little chance to win against Shevchenko, who was considered one of the best female fighters of all time, and the dominant flyweight champion. Shevchenko had defended her belt 6 times, finishing 5 of her opponents. Grasso had only fought twice at flyweight, and she had never faced anyone of Shevchenko's caliber. It was also a contrast of styles, as Grasso was a boxer with crisp and fast hands, while Shevchenko was a Muay Thai specialist with powerful and precise kicks. Many fans and experts expected Shevchenko to dominate Grasso with her striking and grappling skill, but the fight was a shocking and stunning one that ended in a submission. Grasso showed her skills and heart, and she pulled off one of the biggest upsets in MMA history. First round was close and competitive, as both fighters traded strikes on the feet. Grasso landed some jabs and hooks, while Shevchenko landed some leg kicks and body kicks. Grasso also defended well against Shevchenko's takedown attempts, and she landed some elbows in the clinch. Round 2 was a wild ride, as Alexa swung and missed with a jab, and Valentina capitalized on it by shooting for a takedown and slamming Alexa to the mat. Valentina moved to the side control and tried to trap Alexa in a crucifix, but Alexa was not giving up. She used the cage to push herself up and got back to her feet, where they traded leather until Valentina took her down again and controlled her until the bell. Valentina continued her takedown spree in round 3, but the referee was not impressed and stood them up. Valentina took her down again, but this time Alexa had a surprise for her. She snatched a guillotine choke and cranked it hard, but the clock ran out. Alexa showed her heart in round 4 as she stuffed a takedown from Valentina and landed some punches. Valentina tried to catch her with a spinning kick to the body, but Alexa caught her leg and jumped on her back as they fell to the ground. Alexa locked in a rear naked choke and squeezed with all her might, forcing Valentina to tap out at 4 minutes and 34 seconds of round 4, making Alexa Grasso the first woman to finish Valentina and the first Mexican woman to win a UFC title. Max Holloway versus Arnold Allen, UFC Fight Night, April 22nd. It was a main event fight, as Holloway and Allen headlined the card in London, England. Holloway had just won a unanimous decision over Yair Rodriguez at UFC 284, and he was looking to get another title shot. Allen had just won a split decision over Calvin Kattar at UFC 283, and he was looking to extend his winning streak to 11. It all unfolded in the ring. Max Holloway defeated Arnold Allen by decision, 49-46, 48-47, 48-47. He had a dominant performance, winning 4 out of 5 rounds. He only gave up the second round to Allen, which was close. In the 5th round, he sealed the deal by dropping Allen with a fadeaway hook in the final seconds. Allen was going for broke, but he got caught by Holloway's precision and power. Both fighters looked good, but Holloway showed why he was still the best featherweight in the world, besides Alexander Volkanovski. He outstruck Allen with his jab, his body kicks, and his combinations. He was more patient and accurate than ever, and he took Allen's power well. Allen had some success with his leg kicks and his overhands, but he couldn't keep up with Holloway's pace and volume. Holloway proved that he was still a force to be reckoned with, and he deserved another title shot. He was one of the best fighters in the world, regardless of weight class. Allen showed that he belonged at the top of the division, but he needed to work on his game plan and his aggression. He had a lot of potential and skill, but he didn't engage enough with Holloway. He tried to hit and move, but that wasn't enough to beat Holloway. He needed to trade shots with him, but also be technical and defensive. He did that in some moments, but not consistently. This fight was a war that entertained the fans and showcased the talents of both fighters. It was a great main event for UFC Fight Night in London. We couldn't wait to see what was next for these guys. Who do you want to see them fight next? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more MMA content. Thanks for watching and see you next time.